Welcome to our channel Crime Loom, the place where true crime stories come alive. Sarah Payne was an 8-year-old girl who loved to laugh, play, and explore the world around her. In the summer of 2000, she was visiting her grandparents in West Sussex with her brothers and sister. Enjoying the warm weather and the freedom of the countryside, she was a bright, cheerful child who brought joy to everyone who knew her. One evening, while the children were playing outside as they often did, Sarah suddenly went missing. Her disappearance quickly became one of the most widely followed and heartbreaking cases in the country, touching the hearts of people everywhere and leading to a search that united entire communities. Sarah Payne was an 8-year-old girl with a bright smile and a playful personality. She loved being near her family, exploring new places, and enjoying simple childhood joys. Her parents often described her as cheerful, brave, and full of imagination. That summer of 2000, her family visited her grandparents' home in West Sussex, a place filled with happy memories. The house sat near quiet country lanes, wide fields, and peaceful, open spaces. To the children, the area felt like a giant playground where they could run freely. On the evening she disappeared, the sun was low but warm and the air was calm. Sarah and her brothers and sister ran around together, laughing and chasing each other with the carefree energy only children have. They had played in that area many times before. To them, it felt familiar and safe. While exploring, the children went down a path they knew well. They talked and joked as they moved along. But at some point, they noticed Sarah was no longer beside them. At first, it didn't seem alarming. Sarah was the kind of child who sometimes ran ahead, curious about what lay just around the corner. The children called her name, expecting her to answer. When she didn't, they grew uneasy. They checked the nearby bushes and the path behind them. They looked back toward their grandparents' home, thinking perhaps she had gone inside. But she was not there. Quickly, they told the adults that they couldn't find her. Family immediately began to search, calling her name into the quiet evening air. After a tense and worrying hour, the family contacted the police. Officers arrived and began asking questions, checking the surrounding area with torches and calling in additional help. As the night deepened, more officers joined the search. Each one understood the urgency. An 8-year-old child alone at night needed to be found as quickly as possible. By the next morning, the search had grown much larger. Police helicopters flew overhead, looking for signs of her in the fields. Search teams walked in long lines through grass, woods, and farmland. Neighbors came out with warm jackets, maps, and local knowledge. Many offered to help, even if they only knew the family by sight. Within a day, the news spread across the country. Sarah's face appeared on television, in newspapers, and on posters pinned to shop windows. Her photo showed a sweet girl with blonde hair and a big smile. People everywhere hoped for her safe return. As days passed, the police followed every possible lead. They knocked on doors, asked drivers if they had seen anything unusual, and checked security cameras. Volunteers brought drinks and food to searchers. Families who had never met Sarah spoke about how they felt connected to her story. Many parents held their own children a little tighter. The Payne family appeared before cameras, appealing for information. They spoke honestly about their fear and sadness, but also about their determination to find Sarah. Her mother said she simply wanted her little girl back. Their voices touched people across the UK, making the country feel united and concerned for one small child. The search continued day after day. Posters were refreshed so they would not fade in the weather. Officers reviewed lists of vehicles, looked for patterns, and checked the backgrounds of people in the area. Even as time passed, hope remained strong. Searchers refused to give up. But after some time, police found evidence that made them fear that Sarah had been harmed. The officers did not share every detail publicly, but their tone grew more serious. They focused their investigation even more closely. A man named Roy Whiting, who had a history of serious crimes, came under their attention. His actions and movements were examined carefully. Eventually, after 2 difficult weeks, police found Sarah's body. The discovery ended the search, but it opened a new chapter of painful sorrow. The country felt the loss deeply. People who had followed the story cried in their homes. The volunteers who had searched for her felt heartbreak, and for her family, The grief was almost impossible to describe. The police investigation that followed was detailed and careful. Officers collected evidence, spoke to witnesses, examined timelines, and built a case. Every step was taken to understand what had happened to Sarah and to bring justice for her. The Payne family remained brave through interviews, court proceedings, and long waits for answers. The trial of Roy Whiting was watched closely by the country. Evidence was presented, witnesses testified, and the full story of the investigation was told in court. After hearing everything, the jury found Whiting guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison. The verdict brought some sense of justice, but the loss of Sarah remained, leaving an emptiness that could never be truly filled. In the months following the trial, Sarah's mother, Sarah Payne, faced her grief with remarkable strength. She wanted something positive to come from the tragedy. She wanted to protect other children. She believed that parents should be able to know if someone with access to their children had a history of harming children. This idea eventually became known as Sarah's Law. Sarah's Law allows parents, guardians, and carers to ask the police if a person in contact with their child has a known history of sexual offenses against children. The purpose is prevention, giving families information that can help keep children safe. The process is controlled, careful, and guided by the police to ensure fairness and safety. Sarah Payne became a powerful voice for child protection. She wrote articles, gave interviews, attended meetings, and worked closely with police and government officials. She faced setbacks at times, but she continued fighting for change. Many people admired her strength and dedication over the years. Sarah's Law began to take shape across different parts of the UK. It eventually became available nationwide. Families have used it to gain important information and make safer choices for their children. Many believe that Sarah's legacy has helped save lives. Even long after the case, people remember Sarah Payne. Her story is taught in discussions about child safety and community awareness. Many who volunteered in the search still remember the hope they felt as they looked for her. Others remember how her mother's courage inspired new protections for children. Sarah Payne's life was short, but the impact of her story has been lasting. She is remembered not only for what happened to her, but also for the strength that her family showed and the changes that followed. Her name became connected to a movement centered on safety, protection, and the belief that every child deserves to grow up free from harm. Through the love of her family, the support of communities, and the law that carries her name, Sarah's memory continues to guide efforts to keep children safe. Her story remains a reminder of the importance of looking out for one another and of the power of turning unimaginable pain into meaningful change. Sarah's story remained in the hearts of people long after the search ended. Her family's courage and the way communities came together showed how deeply one child's life could touch a nation. In the years that followed, the changes created in her name helped protect many other children, giving her short life a lasting purpose. Though she is gone, her memory continues to inspire care, awareness, and a commitment to keeping children safe. Sarah Payne is remembered not only for the tragedy that happened, but for the strength, love, and hope that grew from her story. For watching more amazing videos like this, subscribe our channel Crime Loom.